Yo, what is up, buddy? Destructor Gaming Channel here, and got yourselves another review. And this has been a long time coming, and it's on Sonic Frontiers, the latest Sonic game from last year of November. So let's get into this. Alright, so I'm going to start with my personal background in this game because, oh my god, I did not have very high expectations. I kind of expect this to be kind of lackluster and mediocre, and be like an unforgettable dud like the last game was, Sonic Forces. But thankfully, I was pleasantly surprised, honestly. Because, like, when you saw the trailers, it's like, oh no. But, again, let's get into, like, the core gameplay. So, the gameplay of Sonic Frontiers is that Sonic Frontiers is a open world collectathon. So, in summary, you're basically going to go around collecting, like, stuff like some keys, some like stage portal pieces, and like these little memory tokens that are all important for like story progression. And you can collect these by either beating some of the little mini bosses you get to deal with throughout the open world, you know, just finding in like however you may explore, you know, defeating some enemies by chance, etc. And it lets you again get more interesting stuff from the story, gets you into like the actual stages themselves, and you know, so on and so forth. And throughout the gameplay, again, considering it's a 3D Sonic game, you get like a little more things like fishing. Yes, there's actually fishing in this game if you can actually find like one of the portals. Thankfully, it's free, you can get in for free, but still, there's some fishing you can do. I was actually shocked when that happened. Like, oh my god, if you see through like my playthrough series of this game on my gaming channel here, yeah, I was pretty shocked. There's also like little like it's a little mini game stuff when you have to like help throughout the Cocos and stuff, which is like again story progression shit. Overall, gameplay is pretty varied and it's honestly really nice. So let's talk about the core elements of this. Starting with the open world. The open world is solid, but you know this is definitely something you improve on in the future. I like the essence of like exploring and just doing whatever you want. It definitely feels very relaxing for a Sonic game, which is very unexpected. You would think relaxing in a Sonic game doesn't go well as much as like an Italian and like not liking pizza is, but this case, this actually works. The open world, you know, there's very big and there's so much to do, and it just kind of keeps you like, you know, intrigued. It's honestly the best part of the game, honestly. Well, that and the boss battles, but still, it's a very good thing. One complaint, and I will fucking like get into this now. The pop-in. Pop-in is awful. Oh my god. The pop-in sucks dick, man. Holy shit. And you especially see in like the second open world act, it is so obvious. You start running around, and then like then there's just the shit like the little obstacles throughout like the open world just pop in out of nowhere. It is bad. Like, seriously bad. Like, Sonic Team, you gotta, like, fix this crap in the future, because when I see, like, this open world, and I'm, like, seeing, like, just popping from, like, little, like, stage obstacles and shit, it's, like, no, it's pretty bad. Yeah, really gotta fix that stuff. And also, even, like, the little stuff you can just, like, you know, jump and grind rails on, I would like a little more variety, because I noticed, like, when you go through the open world, it started to just kind of blend in after a while. Like, I don't see much differences in, like, you know, just, like, how you just, like, explore and stuff. It started to just get a little repetitive at some points. It's still nice, but, again, could use some work and some tinkering. And I think this is a good foundation. As Sonic Team said, they are starting this as a new foundation and a new era of Sonic. So, keep it up. Now, let's talk about the stages and the boss battles. Start with the stages. They're alright. They're not bad, but I do have problems with them. For one, again, a lot of these stages are way too short. They're either like 30 seconds to like a minute at long at most, and the only replayability you're gonna get much out of it is like maybe the occasional like different pathway here and there, and like collecting the red rings, which again, collecting more red rings helps you with the getting more keys after you're done beating the stage. The stages themselves, like, it's decently designed, some of them, but some of them just feel like straight up ripping off from like previous games like Sonic Generations or something. Like, I get serious deja vu, especially like the Sky Sanctuary ones. Like when I play through those ones, I'm like, did they just literally take the same assets from Sonic Generations but like do some like slight different paint job? I'm seriously, I'm not like bugging out when I see this. I can't be the only one, right? And like some of the Green Hill stuff, it's like, did you take this from Forces, but done it better? Like, I'm just confused. Now, not all of them are like that. Some of them are pretty nice. Obviously, they're fun little stages, but they definitely feel like you need to work on this, like, Sonic team, like, big time. And really, I also got to complain about the controls during the stages. Oh my god, they are bad. They are so stiff and, like, slippery. It's weird. What I mean by this is that, like, they're so stiff, so when you barely jump, you can barely move to another platform or something before, like, you either die or you just have to just do an extra jump just or, like, overshoot it. Or you don't even intend to overshoot, but you start overshooting for nothing. It's like, what the hell? The controls in these stages are just clunky as shit, and they're miserable. Well, and I just cannot stand that shit. Now, as for the boss battles, yeah, they're awesome. Most of them are fun and, you know, reasonably challenging. Some of them can be a bit annoying at times, but they're not, like, deal breakers, really. They're just fucking, like, meh, maybe, like, slightly annoying. Bosses are varied and also give you a lot of fun ways to, like, you know, kick their ass. And usually most of the music, particularly if you face the Titans, are fucking awesome. The only, like, bosses the only problem I have with the bosses, generally, is that they tend to repeat. Literally, like, you face these bosses, like, at least twice, sometimes more than, like, 2 times. Like, what was that one guy? Fuck, I forgot his name, but it's like, you know the boss where it's like you just start running, you know, you start running, it's like a bird thing. I forgot what it's called, because I don't really care, but, like, you face that thing at least 3 times. Twice in, like, the first open world, and, like, at least 1 time in, like, the other, like, the third, like, open world. I forgot what his name, I think it was Squid. Yeah, I think his name was Squid. Squid have to face Squid at least 3 times. Like, I wish, like, Sonic Team would give us, like, some more mini bosses, is to, like, keep things fresh and only have to deal with it 1 time, so we can have some variety. But the Titans themselves are awesome, and I hope we get more of this in the future. That's all I'm gonna really say. I want more Titans like this in the future, especially for their music. So, overall, bosses are pretty solid. Now, mentioning controls, I already talked about the controls in the stages themselves. The controls themselves are, again, clunky, but you can work with them. Especially in the open world, like, it's not that bad because you can just, you know, upgrade and become faster and stronger, so it's not that bad. Especially considering you get more combos as you go on. You know, you can, like, have more combos just to fight instead of just spamming home attack, so that's nice, but it's not really anything that's too special. Well, but, like, when you play through the game, it controls, I mean, their controls, they work. It's a Sonic game, so I'm not expecting, like, smooth controls like Sonic Adventure 2, but it's take it or leave it, except for the stages. Their controls are pretty ass. Now, let's get into the presentation. Presentation for this game is hit and miss. On the one hand, I like the, you know, the attention to detail, how much things there is to do in terms of, like, exploration and how much you can do. On the other hand, again, the graphical pop-in, and just the fact that I feel like the graphics in general, I feel like they could have been better. This feels like something I've seen, like, from, like, almost 10 years ago, honestly, and it's just like, I don't know. Maybe it's because of the engine they're running on. If that's the case, they need to do a new engine. Don't go Bethesda on us with, like, the game engine. We do not want that, okay? But I think that's probably the case. In terms of, like, animations or cutscenes, they're fine. A little stiff, but, like, they're fine. In terms of the good stuff of the presentation, the enemy designs, like, they're pretty awesome. Especially the Titans, they look really sick. And, of course, the music is solid. Not the best Sonic soundtrack, but it's very good. It's got a very melancholy and very more mellow atmosphere, with the occasional, like, just, like, head-bopping, like, metal-ass song. Like, the fact that these Titan songs have, like, metalcore in it, from, like, the Sleeping with Sirens singer, like, that's, like, I didn't know, like, I wanted this. Sonic Team, you know, like, get more of this in your music in the future, right? We need more of those Titan-esque boss battle themes and just sound in the series. And, of course, it does have a variety of, like, you know, sounds from, like, the orchestral arrangements, which are all very peaceful and very good, to the, like, electronic, you know, like, type stuff in it, and it's nice. It definitely continues the direction for Forces, and it's done better, unlike Forces where they just fucked it up and sounded like ass. So overall, in that sense, solid soundtrack. I can't really complain. Story, I'm gonna briefly touch it as this because I recommend you play the game itself to, like, get the full story, but here's what I'll say about this. So Eggman found like a portal, and he pretty much started malfunction. He made this portal. There's like a little like intro, like prologue if you can on the internet that you can watch. I didn't watch it because I don't care. But the gist of it is like this: Eggman's up to no good. The idea backfires, and then like Sonic and the gang go check it out. They get all sucked in, and you, Sonic, are the only one that's not sucked in. The rest of your buddies are completely like sucked in as like holographic versions of themselves, while Eggman is completely trapped in cyberspace. This new character by the name of Sage, who's like a, I don't know, a cybernetic, creature. I guess this person was made by Eggman. I'm not really clear on that. But from what I gather, like she follows Eggman, and her job is to terrorize Sonic. And it's your job as Sonic to just, free up your friends and beat all the Titans. That's pretty much the gist of it. I'm not going to go more into detail. I encourage you to play through the game and like see the story for yourself. Because when I was playing it, I was actually like fairly engaged with the story, which is shocking considering like the last almost 15 years has been nothing but like corny ass like PG like goofball like very like made for children that was writing is on par with modern ass WWE. It's not very good, to say the least. But thankfully, this game's writing is surprisingly decent. It even made the voice cast, so some of those I can't stand, like Roger Craig Smith Sonic, sound tolerable. So the writing is actually improved. And it's actually interesting. Like, you actually care, and they actually made a bunch of nice callbacks. Now, the newcomers may not understand, but I think they'll get the gist of it personally. So I think this is a good step in the right direction. If you keep improving on everything, this will be a new great era for Sonic. Overall thoughts, for me, I had low expectations for this game. I only started getting interested in playing this game sooner and doing this series on my channel just because I saw like everyone else was like, oh my god, they're praising the game. They actually liked it. I saw this on like Twitter, and everyone was like, wow, this game is really good. And I was like, really? I was shocked because I didn't expect much from a Sonic game. And I just thought, well, why not? I'll give this game a chance. And it pleasantly surprised me because I've been feeling a little burnout of like newer Sonic games just because like it has been like since 12 years since the last good Sonic game, and even then that was just a pure nostalgic act. So it's nice that they actually did a new Sonic game that was good. Hopefully they actually use new stages in the future. But anyway, this has been Destructor Gaming Channel here. Hope you all enjoy this video. Take care, and of course, God bless you all.